I've added some darker colours to what I've got in the palette. So the cooler red, I've added some brown to. I've added some darker tones to create this lovely violet-y colour. So I've got those kind of purpley tones, and then I've got a darker blue which I'm going to use, water down, perhaps wash that over the foreground a little bit. It's quite purpley, there's a bit of crimson in there. I've added some lighter greens and brown to the green over there to get that sage colour, which is much closer to what I've got on there. So I'm going to water that down and start washing that over the back a bit as well to bring it darker. I've added some more brown to this kind of greyish colour and some more blue, so that's a stronger grey, so I can use that for my very dark tones. And that's it really. I haven't used this green at all. I might bring that in. What I might need to do as well is use these browns, a mixture between these browns and violets, to put in the details on the apples. So I think I'm going to start by knocking back the background because it seems to be too bright to me. So I'm going to use this bigger brush here and then pick up some of this green and just water it down a fair old bit. Let's use the bigger brush to do that. You can use your big brush to pick up water. So this big brush here I'm using to pick up some more water and water that right down. And I think I'm just going to wash over this to just knock it back, because this whole area is a lot darker than that. Let's just see if we can make it much more kind of like the tone that we've got there. I'm wondering whether to just bring it over this side and keep that side on the right quite light. So just knock this back, because I think that's too strong. The blues are too strong. Again, probably a bit more water, and then just bring it over a little bit so that I'm not losing too much of this lovely colour here. There we go, it's quite a lot of water. But it's knocking that back a little bit, which is what I want to do. I mean, it's really quite dark when you're looking at the photograph, this whole area. It's kind of like a vignette type thing, where it's darker around the edges. So let's try and create that. That's it. That's much kind of like a warmer green, much more like what we've got there. Okay, I'm going to do a similar thing with this blue, this kind of like violet-y colour, and just see how that works. There's a shadow on the photograph that's dropping down from the other tomato, and I want to just bring that across and just make this more violet-y. It's gone too greenish for my liking, so I want to kind of get that a little bit more violet-y. Just wash that in. That's a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to take my little round brush now. I'm going to start putting in some of the darker tones. I think I'm going to go kind of violet-y for inside, where the bowl, where these tomatoes are, and I think I'm just going to build that in and create the shape of that, because I've lost it a little bit. Let's go with these darker tones and just see if we can define these tomatoes a little bit. Again, looking at the negative space here, you can see the tomato is quite a large one. We're going to go underneath that green, and I think we need to mix that at a deeper green again to put in the stalks as well. I don't know if we want too much variation with that. They could just be just a light in this kind of violet-y red. So we're keeping to the red tones, but we're getting much more of a glaze and getting these shapes in. And they're starting to pop now. We could warm up this area here as well, glaze it over. I'm wondering whether to use these deeper reds a bit to see if we can put some detail on this apple as well, see how that works. I think that'll be about it. Well, let's make this bit darker over here. Again, I'd probably flood it with a little bit of water to keep it like a loose edge on that, because it's going to lose that kind of roundness if we make it too hard an edge. And it's very, very dark on the top of that tomato there, on the top of the bowl. So let's make it kind of more soft and dark. Let's see if we can add a bit of water to that purple and keep it a lighter wash. Again, try it on here. That's all better. So we can probably bring that round. That's a bit better, so it's not such a heavy tone. Okay, so now for this more purpley colour on the bottle. It's a mixture of the two violets. Let's get back onto this and just make it really, really strong. I think I need a strong bit of ultramarine on this, in this purple, to create that strong purple on the top of the bottle there. It's sort of a bit runny, don't really want that. It's a bit more ultramarine.